Hi folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. Well, we're back on the bank again today, and I've come down to Den's Pond. Different swim this time. I'm round the far side, but I haven't fished here for probably 2 years, but I mean, it's a nice area, so why not? Anyway, back to the point of this. Last time we did preparation of wheat, which is this stuff, for bait. And this time, of course, I'm going to have to see if the proof is in the pudding, and I'm going to use it down here at Den's Pond to see if I can catch a few carp. Now, I've actually got a bit of ground bait there, but I'm probably not going to use that. I've also got some of this red coloured stuff that we prepared as well. These have been frozen for the last few days, so it didn't go to mush. Some of them are split a little bit, but seems okay. Plenty of unopened and opened stuff in there. And I've also got a few pellets. Now normally, of course, if I was doing this, that would be sweet corn. So I do have a can of sweet corn with me just in case. I'm talking to this other camera here, by the way, as well, so hopefully we can get you some good shots today. But I haven't opened it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a waggler because I've actually got stitches in my back at the moment from a minor operation a few days ago. So I've been told not to do anything too strenuous, so I'm not. So I'm not going to use the pole, which I probably would have done normally. So anyway, waggler rod it is then. 6 pound main line, 2.5 AA insert waggler. I've got a couple of number 8s down the line, and I've probably got 3 feet of depth. Not seeing many fish moving, and it's warm and it's still. So I've got an excuse already, haven't I? All right, let's grab a bit of bait. And what I'm going to do, this is a size 14 B911. You probably can't see me doing this. I'll try and zoom in, but you probably can't. I've just nicked it around the... Oops. All right. That was a good start, wasn't it? Let's try that again. Let's get a unbroken one. And try again just to nick it. There we are. So I'll show you like that. That's it on. But I'm going to put 2 on. Again, there's some broken and some unbroken. And I'll just nick this through the top skin. Right, so there we go, look. Not sure how that's going to cast, but we'll find out in a second. I'm casting out, I think it's 14 turns. Bring it back in so that that camera there can see the float. Anyway, feed-wise, I'm going to feed with a throwing stick today. And I'm just going to start off by just putting half a dozen bits of corn, half a dozen bits of pellets in there. The reason for the pellets is that's because I normally bring those to put a bit of flavour into the swim or sort of smell into the swim. Reason being that this stuff and sweet corn, to my view, doesn't really smell that much. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'll get some bait in and we'll see how we go. Using the throwing stick, as you see, I probably mentioned. I quite like using that actually. So, right, let's get on with it. Oh, well, first chuck, and I hit it and missed it. Well, can't argue with that, can you? Oops. Your bait sorted out in a minute. Put another couple on. Now it could be that I'm masking the hook with this bait, so I'm going to have to learn how to hook it properly. But that should be overcome during the day. It's fairly soft, although the skin is a little bit harder than the... difficult to hold. Skin's a little bit harder than the sweet corn. There we go. Well, that's not bad, is it? Bite first chuck. And I'd only put about 3 or 4 pieces of wheat in there. Of course, along with the smelly stuff. Wow. Problem is, when you're doing this sort of thing, you've got to get your float exactly where it needs to be, otherwise you don't get it on the screen and you guys don't get to see the bites. Oh. Still trying to sort the camera and goes under. GoPro, start recording. Not a big fish, but then generally in here they aren't. You probably heard me mention before, this place got flooded out again from the creek just behind it a few months back, and there's obviously a big changeover of fish in here, and we seem to have had a lot of small ones instead of big ones coming in, but that's all right. That's oh, I don't know, probably 3/4 of a pound or so. At least I hit the second bite, didn't I? Okay, putting this on is fractionally more awkward than using sweet corn, but I think that's partly because I'm not used to it, and partly because the skin is a little bit tougher. I might try and use some of the split ones shortly, see if they stay on. It may be that they're a fraction softer, I really don't know. Okay, going good so far. Better put my hat on actually. That's better. A little bit of pellet just to keep them out there. Oh! GoPro, start recording. Oh. You'd almost think this was a commercial, wouldn't you? And these fish have never seen anything like wheat before, you can guarantee that. Same sort of size again. Nice sized fish though. He's tried to swallow it but managed to get it out. But there you go. Well, it looks as though we're not going to need the ground bait today. As I said at the start, I wasn't sure about ground bait because I found in the past, in this place, for some reason, ground bait can kill it. Even a small amount. Bait seems to be staying on quite well. As I say, it's got a harder sort of outer to it. So that's obviously helping too. Hey! Scared one just down here as well. Oh, tiny. Absolutely tiny. Wow. That's obviously one of this year's. Well, he's had a good go at swallowing it. There we are. Wow. This stuff seems to work very well. It's been a long time since I used it though, of course, as I say. That was way back when I was a young lad, back in the 60s. That'd be the 1960s, not the 1860s, guys. Still using 2 bits of corn, sorry, not corn, 2 bits of wheat. Seems strange saying wheat. Very simple fishing. It's a lift. Oh, missed it completely. It could have been just something just wafting the bait up, I suppose. I've lost one. Oh, actually, I've got half of one piece of wheat left on there. Let's just try one of these more split open ones. This is a big one. I'll try the coloured one shortly too. Just as I say, through the top. Let's see if we can get you a bit more of a close-up for that. There you go. Hopefully you can see that. Oof, kind of wish there'd be a bit of breeze. It's a bit warm. Whoa! Good job I don't have the anti-reverse on, isn't it? I'm trying to just sort out the cameras again. It's only tiny as well. That's amazing. Woof, Ferrari carp. Come on. There we are. Same size exactly again. Probably 12 ounces. Nicely lip hooked as well. Beautiful fish though, eh? I was actually trying to attach this external battery to the phone. This is connected to the GoPro, and it's what keeps it alive, otherwise it turns itself off. Right, back to what I was doing. Not the most professional thing you've done today, Den, but hey, you might as well get to see it warts and all, guys. But the fish are coming pretty well, aren't they? Again, same old 2 bits of bait. Don't seem to have too many problems with the bait masking it. I missed that first bite, and I think I've missed one other, but other than that, it seems to be fine. I'm just feeding a small amount of wheat and alternating with a small amount of pellets just to keep the swim alive. As I say, it's very finicky, this place. It's very strange. A lot of other places I go to, you just can't put enough bait in, but this place, you have to be very careful. Just while we're waiting for the next bite, guys, can I just say this week a big thank you to Andrew Brown and Ovidio. Ovidio, sorry if I've murdered your name, but I think that's how you pronounce it. I know I spelt it wrong the other day, but hey, thank you very much for your contributions. They're all much appreciated. Oh. Well, that one bounced and then shot under. And it's again a fairly small one. It's on the edge of liftable. What am I doing here? But not quite, so we'll just ring him in the landing net. It's good fun though, isn't it? Let's face it. And if anything, they're getting smaller. Oh, he swallowed it. Keep still, fish. Hook's out. Lovely condition. Like little race cars. Whoops. Let's try some of these red ones. I don't think they'd be much, if any, better. These are a lot more split open because in order to get the colour into them, it seemed like I needed to allow them to split so that the inside's stuck on the colour. Yeah, I think they'll go on the hook, but I'm going to need to... Oh, okay. Need to get the ones by the look of it that aren't too split. There we are, and then go to the bit which is hard again, or harder, and go through that with the hook point. Seems to be okay. Quite a nice little red look on them. See how they go. After this one, I'm gonna just, bear with me a sec. I'm just gonna go to the left. I've got another little swim at 3 metres to the left of where I'm fishing, because I find here that quite often, because of the shallow nature of it, you catch a few from this swim and then they die off for a bit, and then you have to go to that one, which is also why I've got that one down there. So there may be a little bit of chopping and changing, and when I'm on the left hand swim, the zoom camera won't be able to pick it up, but we'll just have to see how we go. Oh. I turned around to look at the camera and I was going to reel in, and this is on the end. GoPro, start recording. Wow. That was literally in seconds. It's down by that tree down there. Come on, ouch. The stitches are pulling then. I hope I didn't break them. Well, that's a little bit bigger. That was immediate, wasn't it? Literally gone in and gone under. That one's probably, can't get my hand around it, so yeah, okay, nice thick fish, but keep still. Hook right in the corner of his mouth. Look at that, probably, I don't know, £1.5. We'll give those another go. I did say we'd give this swim a bit of a rest after that one, but that bite was so immediate, I'm just going to put it back in and see if it was just a fluke, or if these red runs really do make a big difference. Oops. Wind started to get up a little bit. It's coming that way, which is south or southeasterly, but that's fine. Again, pretty immediate, wasn't it? As you saw, it's on the red stuff again, so maybe that makes a difference. Could just be they've turned up, of course, in more numbers. All the same sort of size though, aren't they? Most of them are lip hooked, and it's actually very nicely lip hooked too. Let's keep a few baits going in, I think. Don't want many. And away. Slid away and I missed him. He's had the bait. I'm enjoying this. I didn't get a bite on that cast, so I'm just going to try that swim just over to my left. That's the one I've been feeding but not actually fishing, and I've been going for just under an hour at this point. As I say, like to keep that one still moving. I don't want it to go dead completely because obviously that defeats the object, so I'll rest it for a bit and we'll try this one. We'll also give that one a try very shortly. We'll just get some more bait down there, actually, thinking about it. I think that's a lift bite, but I'm going to let it develop because, yeah. Oh, that's a bit bigger. Don't go all over me swim, it's come out of it. Right. It's not a huge fish, guys, but it's I think a bit bigger than the ones I've been having. Got to be careful of that. It's a branch that's broken off the tree next to me, I think. So far they've been pretty good. They haven't tried to get down to it, but you can guarantee at some point I'm going to end up having to get down there. Still a little bit slow getting that bite out there, so I'm going to feed it and then I'm going to just give that one down there a go. And this is probably, well, it certainly swallowed it, probably 2.5 pounds or so, I suppose. Oops, good job I got the hook out in time there, Dan. Yeah, well, maybe 2, something like that. I'm not even going to change depth, guys. I'm just going to put a fairly big split red one on the hook. In fact, I'm going to put 2 fairly big split red ones on the hook. Not going to be casting it. There they are. Let's see if you can get to see that a bit better. But that's where we're going with it. 2 big split ones. And all I'm going to do is put it literally just down here. Not a match, as I often say. I don't know, I'm sort of so-so to the bottom. Oh. Oh, hi, Pet. You are the best wife in the world, you know that, don't you? And what am I? I forgot my milk and my diet biscuit, guys. And the best wife in the world's just turned up to give it me.
There you go then.
Okay, see you later. Thank you. Well, didn't actually catch anything down the side there, but I'll keep feeding it a little bit. They probably will turn up a bit later on, but you never know. And it's not the end of the world if they don't, is it? Still got the bait on, so let's chuck it back out where we started off. Better keep feeding that, haven't I? Too slow, Den, too slow. Still got one piece on the hook. Let's go back to the white ones again just to see how that goes. Don't think it really matters. The only thing is you don't want to mask too much of the hook. So try and keep it fairly close to the edge of the skin and you should be fine. Don't think I've missed any more bites here with the wheat than I would if I was fishing with sweet corn, so pretty happy with that. And a left bite. GoPro, start recording. Yeah, it was. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Ooh. Excuse me. Dear, oh dear. Only small. I don't know how big they are in here still, but they do seem to be smaller than they used to be. Keep still, will you, fish? Lovely fish though, eh? Yeah. Oh, I think this one's a bit tiny. I think this could be a lifter. Yeah, very small. Still, do nicely, won't he? Oh. Bit of bob and then a goes under. Swimming towards me, this guy. Another fairly small one. This is the second pond I've fished recently where they all seem to be fairly small after the floods. Never mind. Never mind indeed. Don't know how many I've got now, it's quite a few. Beautiful fish, as I keep saying. Quite like using these red ones actually. Just a confidence thing, and I think everything with fishing is all about confidence. The other ones work really well, but I just seem to catch better on these. I know, it's totally subjective. But then, that's the way it is. And I have been known to be wrong before occasionally. Well, a little bit more than occasionally. Ooh. Oh, this could be just a little bit bigger. Not much though. No, not much. Just a big fit, sorry, small fit carp. Very fit. Oh, get in the net. Well, I don't know how many we've had now. So it's quite a few, and I haven't shown you obviously all of them, and we're still only an hour and a half in or so probably. But that is the stamp of fish that we're getting at the moment, and yeah, not bad at all, eh? Well, I think we've got enough information now to make a conclusive decision on whether wheat is a good or a bad bait for carp. And certainly as a hook bait, the answer is definitely yes. Obviously I've got the ordinary stuff and I've got the red stuff, and I have a personal preference for the red stuff. It is split open a bit more, but it goes on the hook okay. As I say, as a hook bait, it's great. So what's it like as a loose feed? Well, I think it sinks about 3 seconds per foot compared to corn, which takes about 5 seconds per foot to go down. Now that's not really relevant to a 2 or 3 foot deep water. But remember, a lot of the places I fish are sort of 10, 12, 15, 20 feet deep. So I want a bait which is going to be dense enough to go down and actually do the job for me quickly. So yeah, as a feed bait, particles, pretty good too actually. What I'm proposing next is to go back down the river and repeat that exercise with the great big beans, the ones with the cannelloni beans and the butter beans. And at the same time, instead of putting sweet corn in the ground bait, because I'll be using a feeder down there, I'm going to use hemp and I'm going to use this wheat. And we'll see if we can dig out a few bigger ones on that one, because today's been all about smaller fish. But as I say, we've proven the point, wheat works really well. So that's it for another one, guys. As always, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the button, got a fly. If you want to subscribe, feel free. And if you feel that you want to contribute towards the channel's upkeep, please feel free to do that too. It's always much appreciated. Thanks again. See you next time.